Good evening, everyone. Just before we meditate tonight, we have a sad news about our queen. She just passed away. So tonight we will meditate and then dedicate this merit to her. So let's begin for meditation. So I would like everyone to sit in your comfortable position. If you sit on the floor, you can sit cross-legged, the right leg over the left leg. If you sit on the chair, you can sit back straight. Your feet should be flat on the floor. And your right hand over the left hand. The index finger touching the left thumb and lay down on your lap. And then softly, gently close your eyes. Close your eyes the same way you go to sleep. Just slightly close your eyes. We don't use our eyes anymore. The purpose of close the eye because we don't have any distraction from seeing. And do not squeeze your eyes. Close your eye the same way you go to sleep. And relax your whole body. And then you can take a deep breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale deep and exhale. Exhale all your worry, your concern, your negative energy. Just let go and relax your physical body. Start from your front head. Relax your cheek, the muscle around your eyes. Relax. Your neck, your broad shoulders, relax. Your both arms, your fingers, relax. Your legs. You can scan your body from your head to the top, to the tip of your toes, that your body is relaxed, no tension, that you feel completely relaxed, and let go of your thought, your worry, your responsibility, your concern. Just let go. Imagine that you are sitting in an open space and you feel relaxed and let go. And the atmosphere around you very light and fresh. And you feel relaxed, you feel comfortable. Your mind is empty. And today we will meditate to the Queen Elizabeth the second. You can visualize the Queen in your mind, in the middle of your stomach. You can visualize the Queen picture, or visualize all the things that she has done. And all the things that you have done, the good deeds that you have done. And dedicate this to her. Again, if you have a thought arise in your mind, just pay no attention to the thought. Just let it go. And you can repeat the mantra to reduce your thought. Samma Alaham, Samma Alaham, Samma Alaham. Repeat over and over until your mind stands still. Just before we finish the meditation tonight, I would like everyone to share loving kindness to your family, your friends, your co-worker, your neighbor, to the people around the world, or the living being. Share loving kindness from your mind. Expand like a radiant from your mind. May they be well. May they be happy. May they be healthy. May they free from the suffering. May we have a world peace. May we live in peace. And also dedicate this merit to the Queen of England, Elizabeth II. May she rest in peace. Sappha Buddhanupavena, Sappha Dhammanupavena, Sappha Sankhanupavena, Sattha Soti Bhavantu Te. You may open your eyes. I hope you have an inner peace. So tonight, I would like to talk about the Buddhist study. Someone maybe have known that what is a Buddhist, but someone maybe have a little idea or have no idea what this is. Tonight begin with the introduction to the Buddhism. I will bring you back to the ancient religions first. According to the Oxford Dictionary, they define the religion as the belief in and worship of the superhuman controlling power, especially a personal God or gods, as a define of the religion. In the ancient time, back to the Greek, they have gods, so many gods. Zeus, god of thunder, god of the Helen, right? They have so many gods at that time. And then Egypt as well. Greek, Egypt have so many gods as well. Because people cannot explain what's going on around the world. People cannot explain what is the sunrise, how is sunset, flood, thunder, the environment, what happened. So they thought maybe have God in everything. It's said in the history that 100 gods in Egypt, same as in Inca as well. And also in India, they have many gods as well. He said, India, the land of the Buddhists, the word Indians come from Indus or Sindhu or Hindu. You know who named India is India? British, when they colonized India, before they named Indus, and then somehow they said India's maybe better pronunciation, I think. And original people in India, they call Dravidian civilization, and then they have a Alayan civilization, conquer the India, and then they combine together. They have India today. If you can see the India people on the north, they more whiter, the color white than the south, because the north, they said the people from Alayan civilization come from Europe to India, and the people from south of India they call Dravidian, is like the people who have a darker color. In India, have old religions they call Brahmins. When the Buddha, before he became the Buddha, he was a prince named Siddhartha. He's the kingdom, all the whole India believe in Brahmins, most religions, and become today Hindu, as you know, as a Hindu today. They say the Brahmins have a Brahma who created the world, and they have a Vishnu is the preserver of the universe, and Shiva, the one who destroy something bad, and then he destroyed it, and then he recreated again. As a Hindu today, they have so many gods as well. Have you go to India? Anyone? Right. Have you? And then back to the Buddha time. The India is not like India today. They have a different kingdom, about 16 kingdoms and 5 minor kingdoms. They have 16 major kingdoms. Our prince was born in the Kabilabadu kingdom, one of the great kingdoms, which is Nepal today. Because they don't divide, the India into Nepal, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. The whole India is like the whole country, like the big one, and they have 16 kingdoms. Then they always fight each other. And then at that time, they have guru or master, which is believed in Hindu. They have 6 guru that's famous before the Buddha arise in this world. They have 6 guru that people believe in there. They have number 1, Purana Kassapa. Number 2, Makkali Gosa. You don't have to remember this. Number 3, Achikesa Kampla. And number 4, Paku Kachana. And number 5, Sanchaya Vela Tabut. And number 6, Nikronatabut. Some of them still exist today. Like, I mean, the belief, even they have a Hindu is a big, and then they have a guru in that Hindu religions. Nikronatabut, they believe that the people who believe in not wearing anything, just naked. Because they believe that if you don't wear the clothes, it means that you are don't attach to anything. You want to try that? It's going to be cold in England. But India is also cold, in northern England. India is also cold as well. So they have, today they have almost the same as different, the other country, like they have Hindu, they have Christ, they have Islam, they have Sikh, Buddhist, and Jews. But the major one is still Hindu. And the Buddhists in India, like least people believe after the Buddha passed away, then it's seen like the Buddhist fade out from India. And what is the Buddhist? You know, what is Buddhist? Buddhist means the teaching of the enlightened one. The Buddha means the enlightened, or somebody called awakening. Awake from what? Awake from ignorance, awake from the suffering. He knows how to achieve the end of the suffering. I will explain it later. This is episode 1. The Buddha original name Siddhartha Gautama or Siddhartha Gautama in Sanskrit. He was a prince of the Kapilavatthu kingdom. He lived in a luxury palace. When he was born, his father wanted him to be the great king. He wants him to be the great king. But finally, he chose to renounce the world after he realized that the world is suffering, they have dead. When he found out that people have dead, people have sick, people have getting old and die at the end. And he said, it's happened to everyone like this? Because he lived in the palace, he never known that what's going on around the world. He just live in the palace and have a happy life in there. And one day he found out that, oh, the world is not that he saw. The world in the palace is different from the world outside. The world in the palace is surrounding with the beautiful ladies. He lived in a luxury castle. And at the end, he found the ascetic. You know ascetic? Yeah, like monk, who live in the jungle, who live begging for food. And then he think maybe this is a good to practice, to follow. And then after that, he became the Buddha. Became the Buddha after he found out and renounced the world. he practiced for 6 years self-mortification, 6 years. And then after he found out that, oh, this is not the way should be the middle way. The middle path is not to indulgently, like to pressure, a lot of pleasing thing, like when he lived in the palace, it's a lot of enjoyment, a lot of entertainment. It's not going to be enlightenment. Or if you have a lot of self-mortification, you hurt yourself too much, you sleep on the thorn and don't have enough food, like to sacrifice yourself, is not the way to achieve the enlightenment either. So he found out that the middle way is not too loose, it's not too strict or not too strong, will go to the enlightened. After the Siddhartha prince escaped from the palace, and then he sit under the Bodhi tree meditation, and then he enlightened, became the Buddha. After he became the Buddha, he teaching the people for 45 years in India. It's only in India at that time, not around the world yet. They have another one to propagate the Buddhism around the world. And after that, 45 years, he passed away and then went to Nirvana. And that's my conclusion, that the teaching of the Buddha is, he teaching the cause of suffering. I will explain it later after this episode. The suffering, and then how to end up the suffering. And then what is the cause of suffering? And the path to end up the suffering is the main teacher that he teach everyone. He wants everybody to be happy. He wants everybody to be wisdom. He wants everybody to enlighten. And then another thing, that if you want to get rid of the suffering, you better understand law of karma first. What is the law of karma? Law of karma, or law of the nature, or whatever you do, whatever you go in English, right? What is come around, go around, right? Yeah, what is come around, go around. Whatever you do, they have an effect. If you do good, you will receive good. If you do bad, you will receive bad. And then you cannot beg this for other people. You have to do it by yourself. Everything have to practice. Everything have to do it by yourself. You cannot beg someone that, okay, can I have an inner peace? Can you make meditation for me? And can I happy? No, you have to do it by yourself. This is that why he teach that you cannot. He's not against the God, but he said you cannot ask someone to do it for you. Like if you want to purify your mind, you better do it by yourself. If you want to achieve the enlightenment, you want to achieve the wisdom, you have to do it by yourself. So this is my conclusion, that the first, we have to understand the suffering first. What is the suffering? And then when you understand the suffering, then you have to understand whatever you do will cause an effect. It's not going to happen today. If you do it today, maybe the result will come next year or 2 years, maybe next lifetime. It's like you plant the tree, or you grow some mango. You have mango tree in England? No? Banana? No? What you grow? Apples, yeah, okay. Like you plant the apple. That's it. The apple is not come right away, right? You have to wait for how many days to get 2 years to have apple, right? Same as your karma. Karma is mean action. Whatever you do, karma action with your speak, your thought, and your action. It will be your resolve in the future. And you have to do it by yourself again. You have to practice by yourself. You have to do it by yourself. More effort to do that. And then after the Buddha passed away, 230 years, the king Asoka, he conquered all the India. You remember that the India have 16 kingdoms, right? And a major kingdom and 5 minor kingdoms. And then he conquered to one country. And then, when someone wants to conquer all the country, he has to kill many people, right? Because he had to battle. He go to the battle. Okay, this country should be mine. This kingdom should be mine. So we want to unite all the kingdom in one country. So he had to a lot of fight. It's same as Alexander the Great, right? Alexander the Great, he tried to conquer the world to one world, but he cannot achieve that. He passed away. The same as Asoka, he wanted to conquer India in one country, so he had to have a lot of battle, fight with another kingdom. And one day he realized that he killed so many people. In the book they said the blood that he killed is like your hot feet. Right? The blood is flood the hot the blood high level. The hot feet, hot what do you call that? Hot feet. The blood is very high. It's like when you go to this, see the water, it's like the liver. The blood that he killed the people is really like the liver on the field, and he feel bad after. Instead of be happy because he can unite all the kingdom, all the country, but he feel, killed so many people, and he feel guilty about it. But he saw one novice, Samanen Bhikkhu, a monk. A novice monk is like the young monks. Walking arm around in the country, near his kingdom, near his palace. And he realized that why this young man shave the hair and wear the yellow robe and begging for food. And he looked so calm. So he asked the guard to call the novice into the palace and asked the novice that what your teacher, what your practice. And the novice give him some Dhamma talk. And then he like to study more about Buddhism. At that time, he doesn't know about Buddhism. He didn't know about Buddhism. But after he talked to the novice, he said, this is maybe can give him release from what he done in the past. And then he knows that he has a lot of bad karma with the killing field. And then he start practice Buddhism. When he start practice Buddhism, he spread the Buddhism around India. If you see this, if you go to India, you will see this. They call Asoka pillar. Okay, they have a lion. I believe that lion represents the Buddhist. Lion is the king of jungle, right? He put this on the top of the pillar. It means that Buddhists should be like the head of the religion, thing like this. And this, you see, there is also the lion head on the pillar. And this is represent India as well. And he start to propagate Buddhism from India around the world now. He sent the monk. I don't remember how many monks, but he sent to around the world. He sent monk to Thailand, sent to India, from India to Thailand, to Burma, Laos, Cambodia. Most of them Southeast Asia, and Asia, China, and Taiwan, and at that time they didn't have a Taiwan yet. They have China, one China, and Japan, Korea, and also this is on the east. On the west, he sent to the, I think, Greek as well. Yeah, the Buddhists go to Greek. But most of the Buddhists today is in Asia. At that time, they don't have a Buddha statue. They use the tree, Bodhi tree, the tree that Buddha enlightened, to represent the Buddha. The Buddha statue start on the 1st century. They start to have the Buddha statue we call the Kanthala. Kanthala. I think it's a Greek style, look like Greek, right? And they found the Buddha statue in Pakistan today. And they say this Buddha statue is made in the 1st century CE. What is, I don't know. Yeah, they make in the 1st century before the Christ, I think. And from this Buddha statue, I don't think that one who make this statue see the Buddha, because the Buddha passed away already, and then it just maybe understanding from the scripture that he written, describe the Buddha look like. And also, if you practice meditation, you can see the body of enlightenment. The people can explain what is Buddha look like by meditation as well. So in Buddhism, we have a triple gems that we refuse on. One is the Buddha. One is the Dhamma. Dhamma is the Buddha teaching. What is teaching in the scripture? In the Buddha time, when the Buddha taught the people remember that, and his disciples remember the Buddha teaching by memory. They don't have written, they don't have a phone, they don't have an iPad to record. It's just memory. Can't remember that. Remember everything in your brain, memory. Maybe in the mind, memory, everything. They start to have a written in the palm leaf after the Buddha passed away 500 years later. They start put on the palm leaf the Buddha teaching. The Buddha teaching can categorize into 3 categories. One is the Vinaya. Vinaya means the discipline of the monk. discipline and precept. One they call Tripitaka. Pitaka mean the 3 baskets. The basket number 1 is the Vinaya. The basket number 2 is the Sutra. Sutra mean the Buddha teaching. The Buddha teaching will go by Sutra. Like the Sutras mean when he teach, where and who he teach. They record by this. And then the last one, the third, number 3 basket or Tripitaka. Pitaka number 3 is Abhidhamma. Is the Buddha, after practice the Buddha teaching, they become the result of the meditation. And also the Sangha who is follow the Buddha teaching like me, okay, they call Sangha. Sangha means the group of the monk who follow the Buddha teaching. So like the Buddha number 1, and after that he has his doctrine or teaching, the Dhamma, and the Sangha follow the Buddha teaching. From the Buddha time to here, 2,565 years. I have a video. I have to connect this. Sorry. Okay.
Thinking about Buddhism as a religious tradition requires us to keep in mind its deep roots as well as its wide branches. The roots of Buddhism stretch back in time to about the 5th century BCE, a time of great social, economic, and political change. Buddhism's beginnings were profoundly shaped by these conditions of change in ancient India. But Buddhism also represents a distinctive and innovative response to these same conditions. While Buddhism has its historical roots in India, reverence for the Buddha, Buddhist thought and practice, and Buddhist institutions spread first throughout Asia and then across the entire world. Thus, to understand Buddhism as a religion, we always have to consider its deep roots in time as well as its wide branches in space. Buddhists see the origins of their religious traditions in the life of a prince named Siddhartha Gautama. Buddhist accounts of his life portray him as leaving behind his royal status, his family, as well as his palace, to set out to find answers to deep questions about suffering and its causes, as well as to find out whether freedom from suffering and death is possible. After years of searching and effort, he discovered what he was seeking, and this discovery is encapsulated in the epithet Buddha, the awakened one. The name Buddha, a name that no parent ever gave, indicates that the Buddha is to us as we are to people who are asleep. The name is a celebration of his achievement. On the basis of what he discovered, the Buddha began to teach the Dharma, truth with a capital T. And the diversity of Buddhist thought over the ages across Asia represents the efforts of countless men and women to understand and realize this truth, and especially to understand and realize what the Buddha taught us about reality and human flourishing. The Buddha not only taught ideas, but also a way of life. The Buddha established institutions that grounded the community that developed around him, and teachings that provided guidance to that community on how to live so that its members could achieve enlightenment themselves. Those who set out to live as the Buddha taught are called the Sangha. From the beginning, the Buddha's disciples included both female and male monastics, as well as male and female laypeople. This way of life and these institutions were enduring, but they also proved to be very adaptable to new settings and circumstances. As early as the 1st century, the tradition began to travel over the Silk Road into West and Central Asia, and by the 8th century, Buddhism was well established in China, Korea, and Japan. Buddhism also spread south across India to Sri Lanka and to Southeast Asia, from Burma to Vietnam and Java. This spread of Buddhism across Asia enriched the Buddhist heritage by the addition of new texts into the canons of Buddhist scriptures, and in this regard, Buddhists have had more open canons than have Christians and Muslims. In time, some Buddhist communities also developed dual canons, in which one portion of scripture was interpreted in the light of a subsequent canon of scriptures that was deemed to be closer to the intentions of the Buddha as a teacher. Buddhist dual canons are analogous to the combination of the Old Testament and the New Testament in the Christian Bible, or the Quran in relation to the texts of other peoples of the book. The Buddhist heritage was also greatly enriched by the translation of Buddhist scriptures into many different languages, including Pali and Sanskrit in South and Southeast Asia, to Tibetan and Chinese in Central and East Asia. The translation of Buddhist scriptures into different languages was always an enormous project, since the canonical collections of texts that carry the Buddha's teachings can include thousands of individual texts. The complexity and diversity of Buddhist thought and practice, the richness of its character in local settings, are so pronounced that when Europeans first encountered Buddhists in their explorations at the beginning of the colonial age, it took them quite a while to realize that the religion they encountered in Sri Lanka was historically related to what they saw in Japan. And yet, amidst all the diversity and complexity of ideas, practices, experiences, values, and institutions, we can see that Buddhists still have much in common, and that they share especially a sustained attentiveness to suffering and the stopping of suffering. Just as the Buddha said about his long career of teaching, both formally and now, it is only suffering and the stopping of suffering that I describe.
Now they have about 4 million followers in Buddhism. It's most of them in in Asia. You can see the color. You see the color? Yeah. Have some in United States as well. Some in England, light pink, and the here is more people believe in Buddhism. In Thailand, we have about 90% of people who believe in Buddhism. Okay, that's it for the Buddhist study today. And next time I will bring another topic about Buddhism. Episode 2. This is episode 1. So I would like to announce that on Saturday, this Saturday, on 10 September, we have a full moon day meditation. If you'd like to come to practice, start at 7 p.m. And also we broadcast in Zoom online. Venerable Nicholas will be lead the meditation. And also on the 16 to 18 of September, we will have a weekend meditation retreat here at the temple. If you'd like to join, right now we have like 15 participants. Rebecca would like to sleep in the tent. Today we checked the tent for you already. You bring your own, very good, yes. We have a fox who live around here as well. But they don't bother you. Okay, the class Tuesday and Thursday come back, evening class. We have Longpi Nicholas and me and Longpi Pisit, 7 to 8:30 p.m. Okay. Thank you for tonight. Tomorrow, I would like to announce that I will have the chanting for the Queen. Maybe start at 6 p.m. If you'd like to join us, please welcome. Thank you so much. You have any question? Okay. Abhiwadana sili sanitang uttapachayino jataro dhamma vatanti ayuvano sukhang palang. May you have a happy, long life, wealthy, healthy, anything you wish will come true, and may you have inner peace and wisdom.